I'm going to buy a lottery ticket today. Seems to be my lucky day.
Well, that answers that question, doesn't it?
I didn't hear your question. Sorry.
I just texted you and I said, are you able to hop on my mastery call today?
Oh, I was trying to squeeze in one more phone call. Yes, of course I'm able to hop on today.
Wow.
Text you back so you'll know.
Good seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll schedule something today for next week. Okay.
Okay, great. Mindy was overjoyed with the coaching call that she had with you.
Really, that's nice to hear because it's kind of different. I mean, I actually take a holistic approach to the coaching. We didn't do a ton of role play. We're doing other mindset issues and how to look at things. And I know she already has breakthrough coaching. So I thought about it afterwards thinking, well, I hope she got what she paid for.
Well, that's funny. These are her words. Then in a text that she sent after our call this morning, I had an amazing session with Denny yesterday. So there you go.
There you go. That's very nice. Come on in, you guys. Water's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got another couple minutes yet. Turn your cameras on. Let's chat a little bit. Chase. No, that's not Chase. That's somebody in Chase's team in Arizona. That's right. Were you on my who are you? You're muted,
Dustin.
though. Dustin. Yeah, okay. You've been on before. So were you on my call when I went into your office this week?
Mm-hmm.
You guys were pretty quiet. What did y'all think?
Just a second. Let me change my name real quick. You have a lot of good points about finding motivation. Could have used a little bit more explanation on the pain side of things and on working with that, but I like the motivation and the strategic questions.
Okay, we can work on that. Most time people don't have a hard time with pain at all. They love to give it out. Right, Louise?
I have a hard time with that too.
Okay. I've got 1 o'clock straight up, you guys, and here. Thank you so much for participating. We got a good crowd already today. Louise, I tell you what, if you don't mind, I'm going to, if I can find you here, make you a co-host. So you can kind of help me let people in.
Okay.
You can't beat the pay. So you good? All right, here we go. Welcome, you guys, to Master Roleplay with Denny Grimes. We're just getting ready to kick off. I think we just crossed the 3-year threshold. This all started because of COVID. I've got about 200 plus videos already on my YouTube channel. Mastery level roleplay, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I know we have some familiar faces here that have been on this before and on Recon, which I'll get to in just a second. However, first, get out your camera or take a picture if you want. If you're not part of my YouTube channel, please sign up there and subscribe. There's a ton of things up there that you can watch. And if anyone has a great video person, and I'm looking to take these hour-long calls and chunk them down into something a lot more manageable and in bite-sized little nuggets, just send that to me. The best way to reach me is Coach Denny Grimes at gmail.com. There's that if you want that. Mastery level role play, you're already on it. Tell your friends. Recon is something now. This is a brand new Zoom link. If you want to be a Recon, that's daily, 9:30 to 10 o'clock Eastern time. You guys work out the math for the rest. And me and John McLeod and Jen Davis, we actually do kind of the same thing. I really attempt to get into a little bit more detail here because I have an hour and I don't feel as much pressure to get through a bunch of things. I did share this already and date it. Today is National Be Kind to a Bug Day. And I know that's kind of a weird thing to do. However, what I wanted to share that with you, not only to date this call, because it's going to be July 14th, 2023, is there's some things that bug us. We should just let it go. Just like if you see a bug minding its own business outside, just don't go squash it. Just like, don't worry about a lot of little things, except for slow drivers. Slow drivers, you know what? There's no excuse for slow drivers. That's I've got a couple pet peeves. Slow drivers. One, anyone who's mean to a child or a dog, okay, gets me fighting mad. So those things can still bug you. So let's get into. I got 2 thoughts of the day. 2. Number 1. The run-on question. So I'm always listening to other people talk. The run-on question is when you ask a question and we're a little bit nervous, and I'm thinking, okay, so would you like to go out? So I'm talking to my wife. Would you like to go out to dinner tonight? Or maybe you ask a closing question. Well, would you like to move forward with this? And we just sometimes we don't have anything beyond the or the. What I want you all to do is start asking the question and stopping. No, don't answer it. Don't multiple choices, but don't even or. It's kind of like I've got Louise up right now. I can see here. So Louise, maybe we should go back. What do you think about going back and look at that other house? Or is a tick. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's a nervous tick. We want to get rid of that. That's what I want you to work on. And then one more thing. Okay, so this came up in my daily huddle today. Be clear, not cute. Now I know for some of you that's hard because you're cute all the time. What I mean by this came up the other day, and literally it came up today in my team huddle, and was something I was thinking about when I was doing my run today. And in Florida, you've got to run super early because it's awful humid. So anyway, you got to keep something on your mind other than the running. And how many people have heard when you talk about interest rates, you've got to marry the home and date the rate? Now, here's my question. And I brought this was a conversation we had on Recon this week when somebody asked that. And I was a buyer or seller. I can't remember when somebody said that. I actually said, I don't understand. I don't really know if I understand what that is. Now, is there a possibility your clients may not know that? That's a very cute saying. However, do you think they understand? So let me just share this with you, and you can speak if you want. We'll get right into the role play. Sometimes what we use our vernacular, or we have our little sayings that we think are really cute and whatever. However, it's better to communicate than to be cute. So I might say something like this. So if you're talking to somebody and they have a problem with the rates, I would say something like, I'm going to go to Louise. She's kind of my co-host today. Louise, you're the buyer. You're concerned about rates. And I'll say, Louise, have you ever heard of the saying? We have this saying in real estate: marry the home and date the rate. Have you ever heard that?
No. What does that mean?
Now, wouldn't it be great if you asked that question before you say, well, you got to marry home and date the rate? You think, well, this guy's really weird. I'm not like marrying anything. I'm already married. So, well, let me explain what that means. This is when you buy the home, how long do you intend to be there? So you're going to be at the home a long time, right? You're going to make the commitment to the home. The rate is temporary. So my whole point here, I think you get it. Rather than making a statement, marry the home, date the rate, why don't you find out if they've ever heard it, if they know what it means? Because I think it's a very powerful concept. But don't assume they understand that when you just say marry the home, date the rate. That's like just saying, oh, that's your payment, that's your PITI. Like, that doesn't spell like bingo or anything. What are you even talking about? Any questions on that? Any thoughts? That's my thoughts of the day. So, who is ready? What I want to do here, how do I do this? I got to don't know why. I want to see, maybe you can see, Louise, if anyone has their hand up, because we will be giving away some coaching calls for people that participate. Even if your hand's up and we don't use you, you will be in the drawing for a 30-minute just free little ditty that I offer. So, Louise, are there any hands up?
Mindy's hand just went up.
Mindy, we had a coaching session this week, and you want to build on that?
Sure.
All right. So, do you have something you would like to talk about, generally speaking, or you want to roll the dice?
Oh no, we can roll the dice. That's fine.
All right. So here we go. I've got this here. I can't wait to do it. A lot of slides. Here we go. What's your lucky number, by the way?
I'm not sure I have one.
Probably don't. 7. That's a lucky 7.
Oh,
Here we
Okay.
go. So I'm gonna have the 3 minutes up. And I'm gonna let Louise then, if she'll be kind enough to be the buyer or seller. Let's see what it says. Okay. Oh my gosh, just right up your alley. Guess what, Louise? This is expired.
Great.
oh no. I'm
So-
not taking expired calls, but okay.
No, okay, no. The rule is if unless you're doing outbound calls, we have a conversation in front of you. I don't want you to wing it. So
Okay.
I'll give you another one. Sorry, Louise. All right, here you are. Louise is your buyer, and this is what she has to say. Calls in on a house, and you're having a great rapport. She says, I'd like to see houses. Love looking at houses. However, I'm a year or 2 away from buying. You ready?
Have I met with her before, or this is somebody that's calling in because she saw my sign?
Oh, it's just going to be a call in. I don't know that it really matters, but it's a call in. Let's see what you do. And hanging up is not an option. Go.
Hi,
Okay.
Mindy. I saw your sign and I'd like to see this house at 123 Banana Street.
Oh, great. Hi, Louise. This is Mindy Doppler Nelson. Thanks so much for calling in. So I understand you want to go see the home on 123 Banana Street. What is it that attracted you to that home?
Oh, I was actually on my way to the mall with my daughter and we just saw the for sale sign and it looked cute. Thought I'd call.
Have you been looking in this neighborhood for homes before?
Yeah, we've been looking for a while.
Okay. What method have you been using to look at homes?
Just randomly. We're in no rush. We've just been casually looking.
Okay. Is that looking online or have you gone inside of homes?
Yeah, we've gone into some open houses. We've called agents like you to go see homes.
Okay. Have you been working more with any one particular agent, or are you just calling the agents based on who's on the sign?
Yep, just making sign calls.
Okay. How soon are you thinking of moving into a home?
Oh, again, it's just casual, Mindy. If we find the right home, we'll make a move, but there's no rush.
There's no rush. What's motivating you to make a move?
We're just exploring. We don't want to miss any opportunities that might surface.
Do you currently own a home or are you renting?
We own.
Do you need to sell your home in order to buy another home?
No, we'll rent that one when we find another home that we like.
Oh, great. So you're looking to invest. Is this new one going to be an investment property, or did you say that you're going to be renting out your current home?
We'll rent the current home and we'll move in. We'll move when we find something we like
Uh-huh.
and we'll rent the one we're in.
Okay, great. And what is your time frame for wanting to look at this home?
Oh, well, my daughter and I are we just finished lunch. We're on our way to the mall. We'd like to see it maybe after we leave the mall today.
Okay. And if you really like this home, are you thinking you'd make an offer on it?
Well, I guess we probably need to talk to a lender and all of that.
Okay. Do you have a current lender that you've been working with, or would you need to have some recommendations for lenders to reach out to?
But we could call the one we've used before.
30 seconds. I'm surprised she's still on the phone.
Sorry. All right. So, Louise, what, in case we get disconnected, what's your phone number?
Blah, blah.
Okay. And, would you be interested in looking at the home at 5 p.m. today?
Yep, that would be great.
All right, great. So I'll send you a Google Calendar invitation, and when you accept it, then I know that we have a confirmed appointment. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. I know time is running out behind you, Denny.
Yes. Wow. All right.
I normally would have wanted to get her in my office first and have a whole buyer consultation, but if you're saying that she's not out there, I would meet her and have a mini consultation before actually showing her the property. But
now
go ahead
you,
and give some feedback.
so just in a second here, Louise, you'll give me your like Reader's Digest version of how you felt. I know you were very patient on this. There's quite a lot of questions coming your way. So is it possible you guys can make money by converting a sign call to an appointment?
Yeah.
Because that was an inbound call. And again, you don't know when they're going to call. And Murphy's Law says you're going to call at the worst possible time, just when you spell a strawberry milkshake on your lap while you're in traffic. That's when it's going to happen. So not only do we have to convert the call, we haven't even gotten to the objection yet, like a casual buyer. So Louise, how did you feel going through that as the buyer?
I felt fine. I just wanted to see the home. I'm surprised she was going to let me do it.
And I also realized that I never said what the price was, so who knows if that's even something that you would consider.
Well, I think that here's something that's kind of cool. All right. So here's we're going to do this again, and the hands up, Louise. You can find out if they want to do it. It'll be a call in. How you handle a call in, and you get the right information. And this buyer, I want you to check for motivation. This buyer is not very motivated. They may be a year or two away. I want to see how you handle it. One thing you did that was kind of cool. Maybe it's my generation, Etch-a-Sketch generation. I never thought about making an appointment on Google and sending out a Google appointment. Like, wow.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer.
I never thought about that. So that would be my D8 moment for the day. So who's up next, Louise?
We have Adam and Chase and Yael.
Wow. I'll take you a year to learn how to say her name. So Adam, do you want to take the call in? You're muted.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I think you did a pretty good job there. So go back to you. Well, I'll be the buyer. Ring ring.
Hello, this is Adam.
Is that how you answer your phone?
Yeah. Hi, you've reached Adam with eXp Realty. How may I help you today?
No, I'm just kind of curious. How do you normally answer your phone?
I just try to be real casual and a little bit offbeat. Hello, this is Adam.
Adam, maybe I got the wrong number. I was calling on a house that is over there on Banana Boulevard.
Are you talking about my new listing on Banana Boulevard, 123 Banana?
I don't know the address. We were driving by so fast. That was the cool area over there in that section of town. I just saw the sign up and I was able to capture your number. So what's your name?
So my name is Adam, and your name, please?
I'm Denny.
Okay, Denny, and you said you really like the location?
Yes.
Yeah, that is my listing. It is for sale currently at 325, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have about it.
All right. Well, how many bedrooms?
It is a 4-bedroom, two bath house.
And what are the taxes?
Taxes are $2,100.
What school district?
I thought you knew this area. It's in the Brandywine School District. Let me ask you a question, Denny. What is it about this home that caught your interest?
Well, I like the area. Do you know the size of the master bedroom?
Certainly do. Let me ask you something, Denny. Are you currently looking for a home to purchase? Or are you just kind of browsing?
Well, we're in the market for a home. We're not, we don't need to move right away. We're probably a little bit down the road. So we're just wanting to look and see what's available, what the prices are. We love looking at homes. Besides, it's a little cloudy today. We can't go to the beach. So is there any way we can get in this house?
I hear you. It's fun to look, right? I do it all the time. Let me ask you something. How long have you been looking for?
We've been looking about 18 months.
Okay. And during that 18-month period, have you seen some homes that would be maybe something you could see yourself living in?
Oh, yeah. We've seen a lot.
Okay. And then are you currently renting or do you own a home?
We rent.
All right. And when's your lease up?
I don't know. I think it's probably April.
April. And are you a first-time home buyer, Denny?
No, I've owned homes in the past.
Cool. How long you been renting for?
Probably the last 4 or 5 years. So can we get into the house today?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So it sounds like you have some real interest to see this home, but it doesn't sound like you're really in a position to purchase it. Let me ask you, if you do love this home, what would we do then? I'd hate to show you a home that you really love, and you're just really not quite ready to buy it. I hate letting people down that way. Does that make sense?
Well, it sounds like you don't want to work with me because I'm not ready to buy.
Actually, I'd be very interested in working with you. Why don't we do this instead? Why don't we set a time tomorrow to sit down, talk about the home buying process, get an idea of what you're trying to accomplish and a time frame, and then afterwards we can go take a look at the house, and so I can get some feedback on what you really are looking for in your new home. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good. I think about it. Thanks so much for your information, Adam. Bye.
You're welcome, man. Good luck out there.
Oh, okay. So doesn't sound like I'm not a really good prospect, am I?
I was fighting for it. I'd sit down with you. You sounded capable. Just
How
not
are you
motivated.
How are you going to call me back?
Yeah, I gotta be cool. I would have been like F you at the end of that. Denny, sounds great. Why don't I follow up in a week and see how your home search is going?
Yeah, but how? I mean, how? You don't have my number.
Oh yeah. Let me get your number. That was a
I'm
good one.
gone. I'm gonzo. I'm gonzo.
Yeah, you can be gone. Maybe I'll bump into you in a couple years.
So why don't we reverse it a little bit? Okay, so let me give you a format and we'll go into something else here is that this is very important. It's very simple. You know, you don't know really which way it's going to go. All right.
What's keeping you from getting in the market now? Wish I'd ask that.
So let me just find somebody call in. So Louise, why don't you be the buyer again and you call. You don't have to be the same person, be anybody you want. That doesn't really matter.
Hi, ring ring.
Hello, this is Denny at Keller Williams.
Hi, Denny. I see a sign in front of this beautiful oceanfront property. I'd like to go take a look at it.
Absolutely. Where is it?
It's on 123 Banana Ocean Drive.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of calls on banana today. So again, my name is Denny Grimes, and your name?
Hi, I'm Louise Weiss.
Louise Weiss. Awesome. And in case we get disconnected, what number can I call you right back on?
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Well, that's one of our newer listens. We're getting, we've had a number of calls on that today. Let me pull that information up. And while I'm doing that, let me ask you, what attracted you to this home?
Oh, actually, we were just vacationing in the area, and we were on the ocean, and we saw the sign.
Oh, nice. And what price range were you hoping to find a home in?
Oh, we're not looking to buy. We just wanted to look at the house. It looks so pretty and from the beach.
Oh yeah, well, it is a very pretty home. So this home is like I said, is new on the market. It's 1.3 million. And so is this something you want to take a look at?
Of course, I'd like to see it.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, when would you like to look at it?
Well, we're here until our flight leaves tomorrow morning. So is there any way to see it this afternoon?
Well, it is owner occupied, and of course they do need some notice. So what we need to do first is, and of course, all the buyers have to be pre-qualified for the seller's request. So
pre-qualified. Okay.
yeah, that's one of the requirements of this seller. So what we need to do is set a time in the office. We can sit and chat a little bit and make sure we meet those requirements, and then see if we can get you in this afternoon. So again, it's only like 1 o'clock or 1:30 right now. Are you available to meet me at the office at 2?
Oh, gee, well,
All right.
just wanted to look at a pretty house on the beach.
Well, here's what I really wanted to model. Now, again, when they could have been, they could have been a buyer, and that was just their smoke screen. What I wanted to demonstrate, and this is right out of the class, Keller Williams teaches bold. It's so ingrained. I teach it to my people all the time. It's like awesome. Again, my name is Denny Grimes. What's your name? Louise. All right, Louise. What's your last name? Awesome. So I get their name, I get their number. It can go a lot of different ways after that. However, that's step one. There's nothing more frustrating that, for example, when if they were to ask, like, what's the price on what's 1.3 million? Well, that's too much. Click. That's why I'm going to find out really up front. So anyway, that's an example of the call in. And I think it's real important just to start with make sure you have the name and number, and then you can start asking some qualifying questions. My last point on this is, I assume they're qualified until they prove otherwise. Meaning, I will let them think we're going to get in the house early on in the conversation, versus like Mindy, you asked like 45 questions, and I thought maybe they were on trial. And that can be dangerous because if they're qualified, they may if they're a qualified buyer, they may get a little put off by that. So I let them know right away, sure, no worries. And let me ask you a couple of questions and we'll set the appointment. So why do you look so bored, Yal?
I'm not bored. I'm under the weather.
Awesome. Well, do you have your hand up or oh yes, you do.
I did. I was listening to everybody's, like, how everybody was responding to the buyer call. And the only thing, the only thing that you had asked them, what did you like about the house? But you didn't, and then you said, all buyers need to be qualified. But is it relevant on this call to know what their motivation is? Like, forget your call. Let's say going to Mindy's or Adam's call, right? So it was like, why? Okay, they like the house on the beach. That's very nice. But what's causing them to want to move from point A to point B? So was that something relevant for this conversation?
It's a relevant question. However, when she said, well, we're not really interested in buying, we just want to look at houses. So I'd already accomplished my point. I wanted to show you the first part of the call. However, the way I like to work it is this. I'm going to say, okay, tell you what, you want to see it at 4 o'clock today? I understand. I'm going to have to get a hold of the seller and see if we can arrange that. Is that all right? This is the number to call you right back on. And then, okay, I'm going to say, okay, let me check on this and I'll call you right back. Now, when I call back, what's the probability they're going to take my call?
High.
Very high. And then they say, okay, hey, Yael, I just want to let you know that I put a call into the other agent. They're going to call me back here in a few minutes. They may ask me some questions. Do you have a few minutes for me to ask you some questions? Now, in my mind, this is how I view this whole scenario. I'm being cooperative. I'm going to give them what they want, which is they want to look at the home. Now I'm going to ask questions. What's the probability they may be more willing to have a conversation with me now that they know that they're going to get the cookie they want?
Right. I always spend like 8 to 10 minutes per these inbound calls. And I always wonder, I'm like, how much time do we give these people?
Well, again, I'm starting from the fact that I believe they're qualified or they know somebody who is, and I don't want to piss them off.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you don't want to see an innocent person like thrown in jail. And so I'm going to basically give them what they want. Then I have a lot of latitude to ask questions. And then they say, yeah, we're going to be in it at 4 o'clock. Oh, by the way, new homes come on the market all the time. You're listening. Listen, if something else came up that would be in what you're looking for, would you want to look at it while we're together?
Right. And I always ask the question also, are you currently working with another agent?
That's what I call, you guys, my Columbo question. You have to be a little older to understand. Is my last thing before I hang up. Oh, by the way, y'all, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Are you currently working with any other agents? So that is a, oh, by the way, question. So Louise, who's next?
Chase and Yael. Yael.
Is Chase actually here, or does it just happen to be his name?
Bubba. It was Bubba.
Oh, Bubba. Now he's a pro. Bubba.
I don't know about that, Denny.
No, Bubba's good. So you're going to get the spin of the wheel.
Cool.
16. Then I may make you role play with Yael, because that's not going to be an easy one.
Oh, gosh.
All right, Yael, can you play it? Can you be a good buyer or seller?
What's the issue?
I'm coming up with it. Okay. Well, you need to, that's a couple ones, so let me go to the next one over. You're on a listed appointment. And you are the decision maker, and Bubba is giving you, I can see Bubba in New Jersey giving a listing presentation. So you want to interview other agents.
Okay.
All right, you're face to face. Go.
Yeah. Thank you very much for taking the time. I understand you want to interview some other agents as well. Could you help me understand what you're looking for?
Sure. So I want someone who's going to sell my house as quickly as possible for the most amount of money.
Absolutely. And what I showed you here today, is there anything else that's missing that I could answer or do to move forward? I did a run-on question, Denny.
Yes, you did. I just want to say
I heard it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, run-on question. I heard it in my own head.
Ask it again. You got to redo.
Absolutely. So yeah. Is there anything else that I could do to show you, or that is inhibiting you from moving forward with me today?
Well, I really wanted to get to have a feel of the expertise of the agents that were recommended. So I'm interviewing you along with, a couple of other people, and then we're going to make a decision by the end of the week.
Absolutely. And I bet you're a bit like me, and you'd like to do what's best for you and your family. I completely understand. So what is the number one reason? Denny, I'm stumped on this. Denny, could you roll this? I can't.
Of course.
Knock me up and I'm failing. I'm jumping off the cliff.
Well, okay, you started out pretty good. So then I've got a minute 33. So this is a little tag team, I might say. So let me ask you, Yael, am I the first agent you talked to?
No, we spoke to about 2 other people and we set up appointments for them this week.
Okay, am I your first appointment?
Yes.
Okay, and you have 2 more people coming, right?
Mhm.
So let me ask you, what have you made a list of criteria to discuss? How are you going to put 3 people into a matrix and figure out who's the best agent for you?
Okay, so I kind of want to know your process and what you do and what your method is to assist me in getting my home sold. And then based on how everyone responds, that's who I'll go with.
Okay. Is there anything that I could say today, anything that I could say or do for you that would bring you to the point of feeling comfortable to move forward with me?
Well, I guess we would want to know your time frame for when you think this is done, and how you'll handle, whether we're not getting the number that we want, who's on your team, and, how often I can expect to hear from you, and the quality of your work.
So if those answers were satisfactory for you today, would you consider saving yourself the time and the other agent's time as far as going through another interview or 2 process?
I appreciate that perspective, but for me, I need to know that I'm getting value. And until I have all of my prospects on the table, I'm not going to know who I feel the most comfortable working with. So I just think this is a responsible thing for me to do, especially with such a big decision.
And I'll just ask one more question, because this is one I could ask. I would literally ask. I mean, you can't move everyone. You can't always get them to move forward. And I don't know that it's a magic question. I guess the last question I have is that you're going to have at the end of the 3rd interview, you're going to have what people have said. Now, there could be a difference from what they have said or promised versus what they can deliver. How will you sort that out in your mind?
Could I go off role play?
Who?
What, me?
Oh, you want to role play you? Now this is
No. I want to come out of role play. I want to tell you something.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, I think that it comes down to if I were the agent and someone told me that they were interviewing other people, I would almost literally brush over it and assume that they're going to use me by the end. So there is a way, okay, how do we handle it to close? But be yeah, I understand, and just kind of keep working and say, well, do you feel comfortable working with me today? And I guess then they're going to be saying, well, we wanted to meet other people. So I kind of feel like I'm not really addressing that. You like we went on, I gave you all these objections, but I don't think it's realistic what I gave you. I don't think that someone would actually really say that.
You mean what you said as a seller?
Uh-huh.
I mean, raise your hand if you've heard that from a seller. I have heard that.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. So you said, well, okay, so then so how would you handle it? Could someone take over the seller and I'll listen now?
Well, I've kind of finished it. I mean, that was my last question. So we can do it again though, sure.
Okay, so what if people say what they can't deliver? Well, me and my husband, we're just going to see who we like the best, basically, and go with that.
Okay, so you're going to go on feeling, correct?
Absolutely. Who we feel comfortable with.
Well, one more thing that I'll add, and I'll let you go to have the interview. You may want to ask about their guarantees. Like, for example, to be guaranteed, you want to go on your feelings. Well, you know, obviously we have a guarantee that if you're unhappy, you can fire me at any time. So you don't have to worry about it. If you feel like you've made the wrong choice, you're not locked into a long-term decision. Does that add value, you think?
100%, but I think that this specific objection, there's nothing the agent can do because, like you said, continue going, have the other stuff. It's not like you won or she signed with you because she decided ahead of time, I'm not signing until the end of the week. And
I get it. I get it. I mean, while I'm having this conversation, my body language is I'm getting my stuff together. She's seeing I'm leaving, like shoo, shoo, fly. And so my body language is so it's almost like if there's nothing, obviously there are cases like that. Anyway, so let's go into what other hands are up. And I trust Louise, you're writing these names down because I forgot.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I am. There are any other hands up. May I add something?
Yeah.
Wouldn't some pre-qualification questions before that listing appointment have helped? And then you would bring in, knowing that you're going to have competition, try to get that information, who they are, and bring in a side-by-side comparison. Denny, would it be of value to you?
So then why don't you demonstrate that? I mean, let's see, I'll give you've got the 3 minutes. Now, this is the qualification on the phone before the listing appointment. Go ahead, Louise. How would you handle that? I'll be the seller. And
Denny, are you planning to interview any other agents for this?
Yeah, which is a good point. I'm glad you bring it up. That is a question you definitely want to ask before you go. Well, and I'm going to give you a curveball. Well, we hadn't planned on it because you came recommended, but now that you mention it, I think it'd be a pretty good idea.
That is a curveball. What I have heard out of role play is, do you think I should? And I would say, well, not necessary. We're meeting, but that's a curveball I haven't addressed.
Well, okay.
So who do you have in mind?
Let's stay in role play. Now you lost your first minute. Yeah, I will be interviewing other agents.
Okay. And Denny, would it be of value to you if I brought a side-by-side comparison so you can compare and contrast the agents you're interviewing?
I mean, I don't know how you're going to do that because you don't know who I'm interviewing.
Well, I'm going to ask you who you're planning to interview.
Well, I don't think I really want to get into that. I don't think it matters right now.
So what we found is some sellers really do appreciate that. They're able to compare apples to apples so that they can make their best informed decision. And you strike me as a person who would like to make an informed decision, right?
Yeah, but I can walk and chew gum at the same time, so we'll be okay. Does it? I mean, is it? I mean, I think.
Okay, what about this? Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And am I going to be the first agent or the last agent that you interview?
Well, I haven't set any appointments yet. What do you want?
I'd like to be the first, and before you make a final decision, I'd like an opportunity to have a second appointment with you to answer any questions that you may not have received. with my interview or others.
Now, I'll tell you what came to my mind right there, the way she asked that. Here, when you be the first to the last, I said, well, which one do you want? I want to be both.
Oh, I like that.
I'll be here all day. All right, so you can be first, sure. Go ahead. What else do you want to know before you come?
So I don't have my pre-qual sheet in front of me.
Okay.
Going to ask you, have you considered selling this on your own?
All right, so is that part of your prequel?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Why do you use that question?
More times than not, they say no, but if they say yes, then we're prepared when we come.
I think, all right, so here's my blink on that, and nothing wrong with the question. And I get a lot of people that say, why would you ask the question? That's why would you plant that seed in their mind? Guys, listen, it's not new. And that's why I responded the way I did the first time. And Louise said, well, I hadn't thought about it, but maybe I should. That's number one. So you can ask the question here. I don't ask that question before I go. I take kind of the assumption that, look, I'm a great listing agent, which means I'm free to them. So I don't think you're going to go down that road. That'll be a conversation I have when I'm there. Now, one of the things that in my listing appointments, and I'm doing some teaching now, you guys, this is not role play. This is just the way I swing the golf club. I don't get into pricing with people that do not elect to hire me. Because I know sometimes, particularly if you're well known in your area, you have some expertise, they want to talk to you and then suck you dry like War of the Worlds to get the information of where they should price their home. I don't get into pricing conversations with people that don't make the commitment to work with me. So anyway, so I always assume they've got that in the back of their mind, or they're going to give it to their brother-in-law's golf pro sister's best friend.
Could I ask you a question about that specifically?
Sure.
I signed 2 listings yesterday, and it was a commercial property, and literally I worked 15 hours before the guy even signed, and I was really upset about how I was going about it. And I know, like, no one's forcing me to do anything, and if this is where he's at, but I was literally like doing tons of due diligence, tons of just a lot of pulling together information. It's a commercial deal. It was my first commercial deal. And
Okay.
I did not, and at a certain point, he's like, okay, so we'll meet tomorrow. And I'm like, I need you to sign before I move forward. And it was a contentious a little bit. Our tempos were not matched. I was charged. It wasn't like, it didn't feel right to me, because our tempos didn't match. So I'm just curious, like, because you said don't talk pricing until they sign. But what if somebody wants pricing before they decide to sign?
That's fine. We can do that. We have time to do that. There's a hand. Bubba, are you left over, or are you back in the ring now?
Oh, I'm back in the ring. 100%. We're
All
good.
right. Do you have your second win?
Yeah, I got my second win. I got a little off right there, but that's okay. That's okay.
And then what are we doing with you, Bubba? And we're going to come back to yours, y'all. What are we doing?
I'm open to another roulette wheel. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
I love this thing. I think we did 21 at Recon today, or maybe it was here. I can't remember. That's my favorite number. You guys can guess why. Yes, I have one coming up. All right, seller, you're at the table. This is very common. The other agent said they would charge less.
Absolutely, Denny, and I appreciate that they would do that. How certain are you will net more money with them when they are charging you less?
All right, Louise, you're going to role play the seller.
I'm the seller.
Yeah, the other agent said they'd charge less.
Hey, Miss Louise. Yeah, I understand that the other agent said they would charge less.
Mhm.
How certain are you that they will net you more money in the long run?
Are you able to guarantee you'll be able to net me more?
I'm not able to guarantee anything, but it is very possible that if they negotiate down their current price, that they're willing to negotiate with your money as well. Could it be possible that they would be willing to do that?
It could be, yes. So are you telling me that your commission is not negotiable?
It's always negotiable, absolutely. However, most people, though, they understand that that we provide a great service, and our clients are very satisfied. So we typically charge the 6%, 3% to the sell side, and 3% to the buy side. But yeah, yeah.
You get to about the minute and a half part and you run out of gas, Bubba.
I know, man. Denny,
So tell
I'm
me,
yeah, but that's why I'm here. So that's why I'm here. So, anyways,
so I would like to save money on the commission.
Uh-huh.
I do like to save money.
All right, so let me let Wayne. Louise, let me ask you, what are you looking to do? Save money or make money?
What's the difference?
Well, people that want to save money are looking at the cheapest, the cheapest. People that want to make money are looking for value. Which one are you?
Value. I'm value oriented. Are you telling me I can net more by paying a higher commission, Denny?
Well, my question is that more important? Would you rather net more or pay less in commission?
I would rather net the most money I can on the sale of his home.
Okay. And so let's talk in terms of how much. You said the other agent would charge less. What did the other agent say they would charge?
They said they would charge 4%.
4%, right? And they're going to pay. And how much of that are they giving to the buyer's agent?
I didn't go into the detail with them.
You didn't.
No.
No, that's not quite right. They did not go into the detail with you. Now, do you think the compensation of what they're going to pay the buyer's agent is important to you as a seller?
This is the first time I've sold a home. I don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Fair enough. So if you were going to buy gas at a gas station at one side was charging $4 a gallon, and across the corner they're charging $3.75, where would you get your gas?
Well, I have an electric vehicle, but if I would had a gas vehicle,
Oh my God,
I would run with
right.
a lower price.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. When they came in to meet with you originally,
Mhm.
what was their fee?
They were 5%.
And you were able to negotiate them down to 4%.
Yes.
Congratulations. How do you feel about the fact that you're a better negotiator than your agent?
Well, I'm glad for me. However, I guess I should revisit this. Are they going to negotiate that way when other buyers come to my home?
Well, do you know how many opportunities your agent has to negotiate either for you or against you?
How many?
4.
4 opportunities. What are those?
Well, number one is when the first conversation is what they have with you on the initial price. The next one's going to be when the other agent comes in who's representing the buyer. So they're going to have to, if the agent you just met with would not stand up to their value, so they're not going to hold up your value. And then basically, when and if the appraiser comes in low, the other agent's going to come back and attempt to renegotiate a lower number, right? And then on the inspection, there's 4 opportunities. So let me ask you, through all of those opportunities, do you think maybe that you might be selling it for a % or 2 less than if you had a stronger negotiator? So what I've done is just basically identified the delta. Bubba, how much less? So, and then basically, then you go into where's the weak link, and this case happens to be the negotiation. Then you start slicing it down, and the bottom line is that, you know, obviously taking a little bit more time, you'll see the value. And I keep saying this, I want to say it every week. I want you guys to be able to parrot it back to me. Is that a great listing agent is free to a seller?
I've heard the argument or the point that the agent can't negotiate with you. How well will they negotiate with someone else? However, you plussed it by prefacing it with, what did they charge when they came in? And what did they end up with? So you negotiated them down. That's a game changer.
Well, if their model is that they're
But I mean, the preamble, like you set the stage.
Well, you have to, because if that's their model, they're a hope you sell company. Then that's their model at 4%. You can't use the negotiation angle because that's what their model is. The other chink in the armor, you guys, is I promise you, if and Louise is coming off as a new buyer, which is a wrinkle, but even an experienced, a new seller, even an experienced seller will not know what the other agent's going to co-broke. How many times have you listed a home and they never even ask you? I know it's filled out on the listing agreement, but they don't know. And so what would you think then, Louise? I mean, your agent, this agent you want to hire didn't even let you know.
It's evenly split.
Evenly split. Okay, so now imagine you're an agent and you could sell a house, your neighbor's house, and earn 3%, or sell your house and earn 2%. Where is the agent's effort going to be?
It should be with all of them. However, they might be. I could see how they would be swayed, but I would like to think that they would share the buyer all of the properties that are available.
Yes, and there should be peace and no world hunger and all the other crap. And no one should lose their hair when they get older. So let's go on into the next one, if that's, and you guys can put comments in if you want. So let's go into y'all's about pricing. So y'all, you experienced this, and I know you can be a straight shooter when it comes to a seller. So we're meeting with someone. I don't do commercial, so I could probably adapt it, but let's just make it residential so it applies to everyone. Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
Right. You're the seller.
I'm the seller. Okay, what am I saying?
We just,
Before we sign or make any decisions, I really want to know, what the comparable sales are for my property, and yeah, so I'm not going to be able to agree before I have that information. I have to gather information.
okay, we'll go over that. And so I'm going to cut this short. I mean, if we can agree on your initial asking price, will you be ready to move forward with me today?
Yeah, well, I'm also working because I did a for sale by owner previously. So there are people that I had worked with previously. So, how would we arrange those people? And then the commissions, I gave 3 objections, but let's just skip.
No, you're not going to get to play if you're going to give me all that crap. And I've got like a 4-minute roll.
So skip. So other than that, anything else? Well, we would have to just agree on commission. Done.
No, just give me the one. Let's just deal with price.
Commission.
You want a commission or pricing?
Pricing.
Okay, there we go.
So if we agree on pricing, yes, I'm good to go ahead.
All right, you're on my last nerve. Okay, so, all right, so here are the past sales. And I'll go over that. I mean, that's stuff we know, right? Public information. And here are the actives, 72 sold. I mean, that's part of their stick where they want you to base on actives. So here's your competition. Here are the homes that were basically sold. Based on that, where do you see position in your home? Notice I didn't say property. You might want to say house probably instead of home. Go ahead, yell.
So $899.
Now, did I give you that price or did you?
I gave you a range, and I thought it was more at $799, but you wanted $899.
No.
Oh, no. I gave you the seller.
Yeah, you gave me the price. So I mean, if you want to play the objection the way I think you meant, well, that's up to you. I mean, you're the agent. You should tell me. So if that's what you're saying, here's what I'll say. Well, a couple of different things. Number one, if we agree on price today, are you ready to move forward with me?
Yeah. It didn't go like that in real life.
It does go like that in real life.
Well, in real life, basically there are 8 tenants and the debt service coverage ratio would not match with the bank. But so that's why I was working like a dog.
I'm not going down that road. That's your commercial transaction. That won't be germane to everybody here. So Louise, say this. Come on, you got Brian. Who's going to throw their hand up? We got time for another one.
I can go. If we agree today, are you ready to move forward with me? Am I the agent or am I the seller?
The seller.
Okay. Yes, if we can agree on this price today, if you can sell my home for $1 million, I will be happy to sign with you today.
Awesome. Knuckle bump. So we're agreeing.
But my home is only worth 500.
Well, okay, that's a little bit extreme, but the concept works the same. Remember when we were talking about the call-in? I'm fishy, and I'm going to let them run with the bait a little bit. When it comes to meeting with a seller, provided they're not like totally crazy, they want $1 million, it's worth 500. Maybe they want 700, 650. I said, okay, so if we agree on 650 today, Louise, are you ready to move forward? Yes,
Yeah.
knuckle bump. Good. We're going to start there. Now, what happens to her? What happens to the frustration level with that seller once you agree with them?
You're lowering their guard.
Yeah, it's like, they've kind of won the wrestling match, right? So then it's my response. It's our responsibility as great listing agents to say, hey, there's a downside. There is a downside to overpricing a home. So Louise, now that we have agreed to work together and I'm going to represent you, do you mind if I move my chair to your side of the table and talk to you about strategic positioning?
Okay.
Now, I've asked the question, I've asked for permission. It's like you're standing outside somebody's front door. If you were just to walk in, they may feel a little threatened. When you say, may I come in? They say, sure. Now, guess what? You can have a very open, frank conversation. There's no confrontation.
And you didn't commit to the price. You just said, if we can agree.
Right. So in real life, I showed him the 3 outcome sheets and I said, we can do it at $899 and one of 3 things are going to happen. I said, we'll revisit it. I know we're supposed to do it every 2 weeks. I said every 30 days, we'll revisit the price. He goes, well, I don't want to do it 30 days. I'm only going to revisit the price after 60.
No. I don't do that. So, okay. Louise, number one, what are you going to do if the market says no?
And what time frame?
It's your time frame. By the way, you said you wanted to move to the Keys. When do you want to be there?
I'd like to be there before Halloween.
This year or next?
This year.
So you notice I'm not setting time frames. It's their time frame.
Okay, so he's saying 60 days.
Self-discovery.
So, all right. So here's the thing: is that when we expose it to the market, and this is what Yael was talking about. She's got this. She's heard it 100 times. One of 3 things are going to happen. That's this sheet here. Hang on. I can get to it. Right there. Yeah. So one of 3 things are going to happen. Low to no showings and no offers is going to sell. So we're going to have a conversation every Monday at 4 p.m. if that works for you, and we'll evaluate what outcome we're at. Now I might have a conversation. I said, you want to be in the Keys by Halloween. Now, if you do the timeline, that means we should be maybe getting under contract by what? Mid-September. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a lot of time to be wrong, do we?
No.
Now,
but I'm not going to give my house away.
Well, of course not. Nobody does. Now, let me ask you, based on your opinion of the market, this is the meat thermometer. This could have come up anywhere in the conversation, but it should come up sometime. Do you think the market's working in your favor as a seller or working against you?
I'm in Florida and there's low inventory and everyone's moving here. So I think it's in my favor.
Okay. Now, why do I want to know that? You want to ask them their opinion of the market because they could be right. They could be wrong. However, they will not. In my opinion, if you give them a bunch of data that contradicts what they already think, they're not going to buy that at face value, guys. Now you have that a confrontation. However, if she says, I think the market's working in my favor, and it's not, and you feel she's wrong, they have to be seasoned. It's kind of like watching Greek Wedding. When the father thought Windex solved everything, every ailment, you spray Windex on yourself, right? Sooner or later, Windex won't work. So they have to be seasoned. Week 1, and so Yael, I don't go into 30 days, 60 days. It's their timing.
Okay, but then what if they say, what if the market says no, and they say, well, after about 2 months, we'll have to look at the price and how to lower it. Now, I personally don't agree with that, because if we see the offers that come in the first 2 weeks and we're asking 8 and the offers are coming in at 7, right? Then the market's saying 7. So then we wait another 2 weeks. Like, how does that help to wait 60 days?
Well, I mean, ideally, what you have to do is that you have to have a dance partner. If they're not ready to dance, you can't dance by yourself. You follow the metaphor?
Yes.
They're not ready to capitulate to the market yet. So you just have to wait until they're ready. Now, if they have no motivation, find another dance partner. If they have to be somewhere by such and such a date, they have to capitulate to the market. There's no choice. But I don't set a time frame. It's like every week we go over, hey, look, we've been on the market 3 weeks. We've had one showing. What outcome are we at? Well, what do you do in the market? Now you're going to show them all the different things that have happened, all the hits, virtual tours. You're going to show that the marketing is working, yet the market is saying no. And this is one of the bugaboos. I'm down to the last minute or so. So don't hang up right now and stop playing Candy Crush just for a minute. One of the things I think is a serious no-no, you guys, you've heard me say this before, is that when you send out your feedback form to the other agents or call them, which is a big fat waste of time, don't ask them what they think about the price, because it friggin' doesn't matter what they think about the price. The market will tell you if you're right or wrong. How? Outcome 1, you won't get any showings. Outcome 2, you get showings and no offers or a low offer. Outcome number 3 is that the market says yes. Now, is that too advanced? I lost a lot of people here in the last several minutes talking about this. Maybe I'm too far out there. What are you hearing? Tell me what you're hearing before we close this call.
Hey, Denny, just a quick question. Like when we use showing time, which is in Arizona, what we use predominantly, and you get feedback from that, they always ask the price on that form.
Oh, you can change it. James, we use it too. Customize it.
Ah, okay. Didn't realize I could do that. Thought it was a standard form.
No,
Good to know.
no, that's a big.
I went in, I tried to customize it and I was unsuccessful. I think it's a really dumb form.
They'll walk you through it.
Okay.
Anybody else have an aha or a V8 moment here? Let's do so give me one more aha, we'll have the drawing.
Preamble. The preamble sets up the mind-blowing question.
Was that the date and marry and date or what?
It's all of it. You had the preamble before date and date the rate, marry the house, and you had the preamble before the negotiation with the agent.
Yes, what you're saying, I've never heard it said that way, but you're right. I teach on a chessboard. I use a chess metaphor a lot. Sometimes you have to position a piece before you ask the question. And people think, what? We could get this done a lot faster, but it doesn't have the same effect unless you get your pieces in place. And that's why it's kind of a process. Like, would you want to have coffee? Hey, would you marry me? Like, you may want to start with coffee. So, Louise, how many people do you have on the list?
There are 5: Mindy, Adam, Bubba, Yael, and me, Louise.
Okay, so randomize the numbers, please. Randomize them, just don't go 1 through 5. Randomize it 1 through 5, but don't go in order. And Matt, pick a number 1 to 5. 5. Who's number 5?
Mindy.
Mindy's number 5.
Can't keep winning.
Is it?
I actually thought I was going to win for sure.
Yeah, when's the baby due?
6 weeks, but I decided that I'm not counting because I don't think it's healthy, because I'm like, oh my God, another 6 weeks. Oh. So I just decided that we have to just, that's all.
Well, Louise, thanks for co-hosting with me. Thank you guys for being on. If I can add value to you in any way, my number is 239-851-4600. Give me a text. I love this. I appreciate you. Be careful out there. Knuckle bump.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Denny. Thanks, Denny.